this is the Abyssal Void, the final and hardest dungeon to ever release. And in this video, I'm going to be guiding you through how to complete this dungeon. Now, when you begin the dungeon, you'll notice that there are enemies on both sides of the area. And yeah, before we go and fight them, you'll notice I actually have like a full set of green insane armor, along with the Void Flame spell. But usually what I go and do is I take the right section, and what you want to be doing with this dungeon is always moving in a straight line. Never go back on any of your attacks. Always be moving like just in straight circles, because if you decide to like walk back, you will get screwed. Now, specifically, these mages will try to get you to come back on their attack. However, do not do that. These mages have a very slow wind-up time. Now, you'll notice we get into kind of this mural room, and then we descend down to this area. Now, I personally like taking this group first, as this group is the easier one to get. But again, always commit to your attacks. Now, this next room requires you to actually go and hit all of the enemies to trigger the first boss. So again, what I'm doing is I'm going and hitting all of these monsters, because that's really what you got to do. And you'll notice the boss spawns. And this is the Exalted Guard, the first and easiest boss in this entire dungeon. Yeah, boys, things get a lot harder. But again, what you want to be doing, it is very chaotic, but just run in straight lines. I promise you, if you do this, you'll be good. But again, his attacks, very basic. This boss is not too difficult whatsoever. Like, really, any player can do this. It is just some very basic, simplistic dodging. Yeah, biggest tip, just dodge, bro. But now we're on the next section, which will again have you kind of descend through this area. Now, you can actually fall into the void in this dungeon. I'd recommend you just do it once you get the title, so be careful with how you use attacks. You don't want to get those unnecessary like deaths. And yeah, these enemies are very overwhelming. You'll notice that I quite literally just died. Also, try not to get pulled in by these like big beasts. They will actually pull you in. They're the only enemies in the entire dungeon that do stun. But now we are on the second group. And again, the same strategy. Just go and like aggro all of them in. Yeah, really, you want to be aggroing all of the monsters together to save time. This dungeon is heavily monster focused. So if you can learn the monsters, you'll be well ahead of the game. I also do want to mention that doing Nightmare will give like more difficult monsters, and also just more monsters in general. Yeah, Nightmare is quite a bit of a step up from Insane. But again, we continue to descend, and you'll see these big guys right here. Don't get hit by them. They will destroy you. Yeah, also for HP, I'd recommend you have around 6 billion for Insane, and then around like 8 billion for Nightmare. But realistically, mobs are very chaotic. Just try to run circles and never go back on anything. And you'll notice some mirror shatters, and we're on to the next section. Yep, just again, go straight and take on the first monsters. Now, if you're with a duo partner or with a bunch of other people, which is of course how I played, you want to make sure that they're doing like that side while you're doing this side, because that will make the run much more coordinated. Now, later in the video, I'm going to explain a couple of other things with the event. But you'll notice that there is this void pass that I have right here. Important that you stick around, because I'm going to be explaining that. That, trust me, will be a godsend. Realistically, you cannot go glass cannon for this dungeon. I'm saying that right now. Do not go glass cannon, because even with me, I have 6 billion health and I'm getting screwed by the enemies. But now we are on the second and most difficult boss in the dungeon, Tai. Now, I've learned a lot from doing this boss, so you're going to want to take my advice, pretty well. So when you begin fighting Tai, he'll have very basic attacks. Like, Tai is the most basic boss at the start. However, he ramps up severely. Yeah, you can see just basic attacks that you can relatively easily dodge. However, what he's going to do is he's going to jump away from you, and that's the cue that he's doing his very difficult attack. Now, you'll notice that he's going to do like a square attack eventually. You'll notice right now he does a square. That square is going to put a target on you, and you're going to want to make sure that you are dodging that target. Now, you may have also noticed that other attack he did. That attack requires you to shimmy. The one that has like the close together lines. He's going to do it again. Yep, this attack right here. What you're going to want to do, shimmy through the red lines. Like, stand red line, shimmy. Stand red line, shimmy. Just do this over and over again, and you will dodge the attack. But this boss is super hard. Like, I am actually even still bad at him. Like, that just shows how difficult this boss really is. But again, you want to get here, stand on the red line, shimmy. Stand on red line, shimmy. Move like this. This is your best movement method. When he does the square, he's going to attack like that. So he's going to target you and then do that. And when you kill him, he will spawn enemies. So you want to be careful that you don't get caught by those. Also, the 3-line enemies don't just hit once. They actually do a constant flow of damage. And also, I want to mention this dungeon only has 3 bosses. It doesn't have 4. But getting on to the final boss, this boss right here, the dragon boss from Gilded Skies. Now, this boss is chaos. You want to stay in the middle, though. That's biggest tip. First area will be kind of easy. Like, he doesn't do that much bad. However, it goes ballistic. Yeah, you'll see, get in the middle. Like, immediately get in the middle. I even missed that because I didn't get in the middle fast enough. You want to get in the middle to avoid those strong square attacks. And this, there'll be like a breathing attack, very dodgeable, but stay in the middle. Again, you use your small gaps. I'm dying a lot. Really proves how difficult this dungeon is. But I want to mention that this dungeon is beatable with Yokai Peaks gear. I mean, I literally duoed it with another player who had like some Yokai Peak stuff. So don't lose confidence on beating the dungeon. Now, he's going to go into a shield mode, and what you're going to want to do to destroy that shield is go and kill this enemy before these two lines enclose on you. I actually did it wrong again because I'm terrible at this dungeon. But you'll see that when I kill the enemy, the boss goes back into red HP. But again, it goes back into basic dodging, nothing too difficult. And this gives you the opportunity. Get in the middle. Again, I didn't get in the middle. Shows like just how bad I am at this dungeon. But middle for this boss. He's going to do the breathing attack, avoid that breathing attack, and then finish him off. This is GG's right here. And just like that, we beat the dungeon. And we got a green mage helm. That's pretty trash. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is this right here, this event. Now, the first and most important thing, go into your shop and buy this. Trust me, buy this. This is so good. What this will do is it'll give you an extra item in raids and dungeons for 2 weeks. And yeah, I believe this costs around 1,000 Robux, so it's definitely not cheap. But trust me, this is a godsend. Now, what you're going to also want to do is go into this, and you can also like buy the bundle. Not really worth it. I mean, it is 30k. But when you go into here, you'll have the ability to open loot boxes. Now, when I open this one, wait, it should allow me to open it. Oh, wait, no, I'm so close. Oh, man, I'm so close. But yeah, what will happen when you open a loot box is you'll get some random cosmetics. Like, I'll actually go and showcase my cosmetics right now. I have like this Voidborn cosmetic, which looks alright. I also have this Void Fallen, whatever the frick. And yeah, that's really about it that I got for cosmetics. Now, another thing you're going to want to do is go and team with other people. Now, I'm teamed with one of my duo partners, Dino. Well, my only duo partner. And yeah, when you team with people, they will also like get platinum and stuff. Or not platinum, void shards, which is just going to be very good. Yeah, trust me, team up with other people. That is a huge tip. Now, one other thing you'll notice is that there'll be like a leaderboard for fastest time. Like, you'll notice people are doing it in like 5 minutes, stuff like that, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. And yeah, there's fastest clears, stuff like that, or first clears, I suppose. I wonder what happens when you go in this portal. Oh, it just puts you in the Abyssal Void. Now, I want to show you a few things with this dungeon. Now, you'll firstly notice that they do have legendaries. This is what the mage legendary looks like. However, they also have ultimate weapons, which look like this: the Void Fallen, Ephigeny, and Edict. I cannot pronounce that. So yeah, there are ultimates in this dungeon. Now, my biggest tip when going into Nightmare is you firstly want to make sure you have like a full blue set at the very least. You want to be doing at least 100 Q damage. If you do not do this, do not attempt Nightmare. Now, another huge tip I have for you is truly, like, you cannot give up on this. You need, firstly, again, you do need like a team. I would highly recommend you don't do this solo, but really you can't give up on this. This dungeon is very difficult. It's not like Yokai Peaks where it's just like super easy. This dungeon will require you to be very good at the game. However, if you have a good team, you should be able to do this no problem. And also, one other thing, this dungeon gives a very good amount of XP. That's a huge thing. I actually leveled up to level 228. I gained almost a full level up just through 1 day's worth of grinding. But yeah, really the biggest thing, get consistent at Insane and then move on to Nightmare. And also, learn mobs. Mobs are hugely important. Now, another thing I want to talk about is like this thing. Now, I don't know if you actually get more rewards through teaming up with other players. I think like it might just be for one. However, I really don't know. And we also did reach the daily limit, so I guess they do restrict that in a way. But I'm gonna be honest, if you don't already have the craftable, that's gonna be very good for doing this dungeon. However, it is doable without having the craftable. However, it just makes it a lot easier to have it. But anyways, I got another video on the screen for you guys, so definitely go check it out because I think you'll probably like it. And for now, I'll see you guys later.